When Richard Lawson, a wealthy businessman with a towering empire and an ego to match, learned that his only daughter, Emily, had fallen in love with a young black doctor named Marcus, he was outraged. To him, reputation and appearances mattered more than love or character. "My daughter will not marry him," he declared coldly, dismissing Marcus's years of hard work, intelligence, and compassion simply because of his skin color. Emily was devastated, but she refused to abandon Marcus, who had stood by her through her toughest battles, including her long recovery from a near-fatal accident. Marcus remained calm in the face of Richard's hostility, telling Emily, "True love doesn't need permission, it only needs courage." Richard thought he had the upper hand until tragedy struck. During a grand charity gala he hosted, he suddenly collapsed in front of hundreds of guests. Panic swept the room, and while others froze, Marcus rushed forward. With quick precision, he performed CPR and stabilized Richard until paramedics arrived. The guests were stunned, whispering about how the man Richard had scorned had just saved his life. At the hospital, the attending physicians praised Marcus for his skill and swift action, explaining that Richard might not have survived without him. Lying weak in bed, Richard had no choice but to confront the truth. He had long ignored. His prejudice had blinded him to the man of true worth before him. As days passed, Richard reflected on Marcus's humility and courage. Unlike the shallow businessman who constantly flattered him, Marcus had acted selflessly without expecting anything in return. Emily stayed at Marcus's side, proving her devotion once again, while Richard saw clearly how much his daughter's happiness depended on the man he had rejected. Regret weighed heavily on his heart as he realized that his pride nearly cost him not only his life but also his daughter's love and trust. One evening, when Marcus came to check on his condition, Richard, with tears brimming in his eyes, extended a trembling hand. "I was wrong," he whispered. "Not just about you, but about everything that truly matters. You've shown me what it means to be a real man." Marcus, with quiet dignity, shook his hand and replied, "All I ever wanted was Emily's happiness." At that moment, Richard finally gave his blessing. Months later, when Emily and Marcus stood at the altar, Richard walked his daughter down the aisle with pride, no longer caring about whispers or appearances. He knew he had almost lost everything by clinging to prejudice, but life had given him a second chance to honor love over status. And this time, he wasn't going to waste it.